All right, so I got this request from, I guess, the neighborhood posted on Facebook about designing a box for the little library that they're putting in across the street from where I am. And this is my design. But the problem is, I was asked to finish this by the morning. And it is 10 o'clock at night now. So I gotta try and finish this all tonight and get it handed in tomorrow. So, yeah, there we go. So this kind of went through multiple different phases here. This just happens to be this phase. Oh, I lost my cursor for a minute. That was weird. All right. Sorry, I don't know where my cursor went. It was just like disappeared and I couldn't get it back. Anyway, this went through multiple iterations, and this is what I landed on because I don't have much more time to keep messing with it. So this is what we're gonna just like. I mean, it's just a little library box. It's not like it's, the Sistine Chapel. Anyway, so it had a lot of other stuff in it too. Like I had a lot of nostalgic stuff from my childhood in here, and I had to cut it. Basically, the idea is that there's this book opening up because it's a little library, so there's gonna have books in it. And the idea is that the book's opening and the pages are flying out and turning into birds and butterflies and dragons and rocket ships. And ignore the fighter jet down here. He got cut. He's in timeout right now. He's gonna stay on the sketch phase. He's not gonna he's not gonna make it to the ink phase. Unfortunately, I kind of like the rocket ship, or the fighter jet, but he didn't make the cut. It was too busy already. I think it's still kind of busy. Because this is something that I have to transfer onto a box. if it wins, it's all gonna be. There's a bunch of people submitting art pieces, and the community is gonna vote on what they want on the box. So I mean, mine may not make the cut either way. So, at any rate, we are going to start inking this thing so that I can submit it to the lady in the morning and they can put it on the boat. And hopefully I make it. If not, whatever. Who cares? Well, I'd care a little bit, I guess, but not that much. Alright. So, I wanted the rocket ship to be kind of the biggest part of this, because I know how much kids really like outer space and rocket ships and all that sort of thing. So, that was an ugly line. Alright, I got a lot of ugly lines in me today. We gotta get them out of the way. And I know my kids really like space too, so making a rocket ship seems like the most logical thing to put on this box. I thought about making like a mini Star Trek thing, but like I said, I gotta paint this on a box afterwards, and I don't want to make it so insanely complicated that I'm gonna spend, 24 hours working on the box. I'd rather spend, the appropriate amount of time working on a little library box. I'm happy to put the time in, because it's all unpaid and stuff, and that's fine. It's making the community a better place and hopefully getting kids interested in reading, and that's always good. Always good. I'm happy to do that for free. So let's see if I can make this look like a believable rocket ship. Right now it's kind of looking gnarly. There we go. Put his little booster there, and then we're going to make this little window, I guess. Cockpit. Ugh. The bottom third on all of these circles. I'm right-handed. Ugh. All right. There we go. Good. And then I think I want to make this on the color phase, this little fire blast here. I'll maybe make that. We'll keep the sketch thing here and we'll add that in on the color phase. Alright, we'll move on to the dragon. Let's make... I should probably just make layers for all of these, but I'm too old-fashioned. I grew up on traditional art. It's hard for me to just make a billion different layers. So I'll just, I don't know, we'll keep all the ink on one layer. Who cares? Roll with it. We roll. We roll around here. 10 seems like a good size for this. Look, a good size indeed for this. A little horn here. Dragon's neck. I'm going to make some more little horns or spikes coming off of this guy. And we'll get to his wings. Now, this is not supposed to be like an anatomically correct dragon. Not that that's a thing, but I've seen people get really mad about your dragon's wings need to look like they're supposed to exist. It's a fantasy creature. I'm going to draw my dragon however I want to draw my dragon. And you should draw your dragon however you want to draw your dragon. And we're all just going to be okay with that. Because dragons are friggin' cool. They're awesome. And your dragon is just as awesome as the next guy's dragon. Or the next girl's dragon. Or the next person's dragon. Alright, we're just going to draw like a... it's not going to be too detailed. I'm just going to make it like almost a silhouette. Go here. I should probably make those lines thinner. Cut back to 8. You'll have to forgive me. Like I said, I'm not that used to digital art. But I'm getting there. I'm not that used to Clip Studio either. This isn't Clip Studio Paint. I might have to move that in. It's looking like this side's a little fatter than the other side. That just did the same thing. Crap. There we go. Well, a little better, I guess. Eliminate this side here. We'll try again. Let's try again. If it doesn't succeed, try again. I've seen a lot of little library boxes around, and I kind of like the designs on some of them. A lot of them are just like, they paint them to look like a little house. And that's cool. I just don't think it's going to attract kids, and that's the point, right? You want kids to come look at it. Hey, there's a book inside there. And then guess what? Maybe they'll pull it out and they'll read it, and then they'll bring it back, hopefully. But I've also seen some little libraries that get pretty nasty. Where like they smell awful and stuff. Not that this one's going to. I'm sure it won't. But you know, I don't know if it's maybe just like the books, or just get old or something. I don't know. That's not all of them. It's just like maybe one or two are ever really that smelly. Let's see. I thought there was a King of the Hill episode where was it Peggy? She wanted to start a little library in front of her house, but all the books had like bed bugs in them or something. Something ridiculous. The show cracks me up, man. Alright, let's take a look at this here. Butterfly. Ooh, that's too close. Oh, here, maybe. let's make his little body black. I think they are anyways, and since it's gonna be a silhouette, so like he's gonna have, colors. A little thinner. Here we go. If we can, yeah, I got the email from the person who is in charge of gathering the art pieces. Yeah, 2-3 hours ago, maybe. No, was it 4 hours ago? I was trying to get dinner going for the kids, and I was like, yeah, I can have it to you in the morning. Not really realizing what I was agreeing to. But that's okay. It's for kids, so I'm happy to do it. If they like it. If they don't like it, it's okay. Just post it on Instagram and move on. Move on to something else. What I really want to do is make comics or manga, like for a living. That would be awesome. That's what I really want. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be an animator. Not that that's out of the realm of possibility, but I think it's easier to do comic stuff, It just doesn't take quite as long. Animation takes such a long time. I might have to look up what a butterfly color looks like. I'll tell you, I don't see a lot of butterflies in real life. That's okay. Pretty sure it's orange and black. And like I think all of these little frills thing here's are they're orange. I don't know, we'll look it up. Alright, a little bird here. Oh, maybe this is a dove or something, I don't know. It's just kind of a silhouette of a bird. Like, I just thought it was kind of a cool idea. The pages are turning into birds, and butterflies and dragons and spaceships are coming out. I don't know how many of you actually grew up with the old school reading Rainbow, but that's kind of where the inspiration for this came from. Like, I didn't grow up on that stuff. That was older than me, but, I watched it when I was a kid. It was good stuff. It had the guy from Star Trek in it, LeVar Burton. I remember that. I was big into Star Trek when I was a kid. And I remember thinking, hey, that's the guy. That's Geordi from Star Trek. The Next Generation. That was my jam when I was a kid. The Next Generation. I used to watch that all the time. It used to come on TV a lot. Not so much anymore. Of course, cable's not what it used to be. Or regular TV, I should say, isn't what it used to be. Like, you can't just go turn on whatever local channel and it's playing whatever you want, whatever you used to. You can't really do that anymore. Instead, what you get is, like, cable people, like, demanding that you watch cable, and advertising. In like a 30-minute time slot, there's like 15 minutes of advertisements. It's exaggeration a little bit, but you get the idea. Let's see. I gotta adjust some of these pages. I didn't quite finish them. Let's see. Over here, I got buttons on the side of my drawing tablet. I never use them. I should. I'm so lazy. I sit with my arm like down on my leg. I do this whole thing one-handed. I gotta learn to use two hands. Or I just need to stop being so lazy. You know what I mean? There we go. Alright. We got some sparkles and the dragon's tail to do. This is why I should have done it in layers. Different layers. It's alright. Screw it up. We screw up more than just the tail. Oh boy, that's a bad angle. That's bad angle. Ugh, this is like a bad angle. Holy cow, that's the worst part of the circle to draw if you're right-handed. Try and go like this. Oops, messed that up. That up too. Alright, do this in parts. Ooh, we don't want to do that. It's a little better. It'll make this guy's wing a little longer. There. Fix that weird edge spatial relation issue that you get going on. You never want to have one edge intersect another edge. It just ruins the immersion. So I've been told. I see it happen all the time. It doesn't bother me quite so much. Some people. That's okay. Everybody's got their thing. Alright, I think that's okay. Alright, let's keep moving with the tail. How does that look? That looks like a tail that's connected. Again, we're not going to draw like these little spikes all the way down here. That's tedious. And that's not really the intent anyway. Well, that was an ugly one too. Hold on, I got an ad coming up here so we can skip it. Skip that ad. Alright. Get back to work. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that was an ugly line. There we go. Alright, we're moving along here. We're making some good progress, I think. There. Okay. And then we're just gonna like have it just like fade off. Like it's just coming out of the book or something. I don't know. That probably isn't what that looks like, but whatever. We gave it a Boy Scouts effort, if anything else. Let's see. Alright, what do we gotta do next? We were gonna make that on the color layer, the fire. I guess we can make the stars on this layer and we just color them in. We'll make it super thin, like maybe 5. I know there's an effect thing we can use. I try to avoid that though, because they all look exactly the same, and I can't use that when I'm painting this on the box. So there's not really a reason for me to use that tool right now. Might as well make them by hand. I used to, when I was a kid, and make little... Oh, we forgot a page. Oops. I used to make Dragon Ball comics, Dragon Ball Z comics in middle school and stuff, and high school. And I would always... This was how I'd always make, like, this smile. Whenever the character would smile, I'd always make a little sparkle like that, like shing. I'm trying to make that more thin. There we go. Okay. There we go. I think that's okay. All right, now let's get back to, we were on 5, right? Back to these sparkles. Or the stars. Whatever. I like making stars like this. I don't like doing the 5-sided stars like this. I always mess them up. I've been drawing them for years, and I can still never really get it right. Easier for my pea brain to understand how to do a 4-pointed star other than the old 5-pointed star. here. We'll zoom out, make sure we got all of these little stars here. See if we need to add more, maybe. Let's see. I think we're... Well, we missed one. Two. We missed two. Screwing up the flow. Ooh, we zoomed in too much. Alright, now pixelate. Making pixelated art makes me feel like a robot. I don't care for that feeling. We'll zoom out just enough. There we go. Okay, now... let's get this book, and then we'll figure out colors. I suppose the pages should be like a yellow. I don't know. Oh, what a loose sketch that is. That's a yikes sketch. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Okay. Whoa. Wow, heavy hand on that one. That was a fat hand. Alright. Okay. Try to make them all meet down here. Okay. Alright, I gotta skip another ad. Alright, YouTube. Listening to music on YouTube kind of blows. All the dang ads anymore, you know? But oh well, what do you do? You gotta make money somehow, I guess. Okay, see, here's a problem with super loose sketches like this is you kind of don't know what you're supposed to do next. Here, I guess what we could do is just like do a what looks like a duck bill kind of thing under here. Okay, here's the, let's, I don't know, jump around, see if maybe we can make this thing work. Let that be the spine of the book right here. And it comes over like this. Oop. Okay. There we go. Oop. Maybe put another smaller line in there. Maybe imply there's another page or something. I don't know. No, yeah, forget it. Whatever. That's fine. Not supposed to be too detailed. I don't know how I'm going to paint that to begin with, but we'll see. So, we'll go 7. Nope, that's a bad angle. It's a bad angle too. The key is to find the right angle. And I struggle with that a lot too. There we go. Thankfully, this is digital. If this were traditional, I would be having a lot more trouble. It would be a lot more careful with how I'm doing this. Right now, it's just kind of like, we'll figure it out as we go. But if this were traditional, man, you got to be real careful. One mistake, and that's it. And so I have to make sure this is absolutely as clear as day for when I get to, you know, if this gets voted in to be on the box. That it's got to be like crystal clear what I need to do so that it's, when I get there, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not going to be like this part right here where I'm like, does it look like a book? Because I could flip it and see. It's not like a person's face. Like, you're always supposed to flip it and see a Does it look normal, like a person? Or does it look ridiculous? And I think this looks okay. I think so. I think it looks alright. I don't know. It's not the greatest, but it's, you know, it's a kid's thing. It's cool. Not that kids deserve anything less, but you know what I mean. It's not supposed to be a hyper detailed, like I said, the Sistine Chapel or anything like that. So, alright, so I guess we get to colors next. And I did say we were going to keep the sketch on. We can turn the dragon off. So don't, well, okay, we forgot his little finger frill things here, because it's like their wings are like a giant hand, right, with webbing in between. Anyway, what are we on, 7? It's probably fine. For this, we'll just make it a line. Actually, that probably needs to go here. Here we go. Make all my dragon truists a little bit more happy, purists a little bit more happy. Whoa. Whoa. The ugly line problem. I have a lot. Ooh. That was a wily line. I don't know what happened to that one. Okay. Alright. Whoops. We put those on the color line. My fault. Do over. Crud. That's alright. Mistakes are an opportunity to do better. My opinion. We can always learn to do better. But it's okay, because everything can be a masterpiece, and it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Alright. It's on the right layer this time. See, that's why I don't do, like, a million layers. I'll start putting stuff on the wrong layers because I'm not paying attention, obviously. Well, and I don't want to mess things up. That's so me, you know? Alright. Go with orange. I don't know. Ugh, that's a color pickers there suck. So we say orange for this part here, right? And then this internal part here is red. Or is it yellow? Maybe we can do, because it goes red, orange, and then yellow on the outside. So maybe we can layer it. Put this back up to 8. 10. Okay, so we want yellow. Yellow on the outside. And we don't want it to be like really crazy saturated yellow. Here. Here. Okay. See if we can... Nope. That's not gonna work. Red. You don't want it to be like gross yellow either, so maybe we change that. Alright. We can turn the other sketch layer off now. We got that. Ugh. Now that I see it, it's off center. Yikes. I think we saw that though, right? Alright. Nope. Still off center. It's gonna bother me. Alright, more normal. We're gonna be satisfied with that. Let's see. Go here. And I don't like using the fill tool, but we can. Since I'm just gonna blend those together anyway. Oops. That's not going to work. Alright, so here's the deal. Let's use this. And we're going to go to orange. We're going to lighten it. I don't want to make it too complicated, like crazy complicated. Because I gotta paint this on something. So if I start getting crazy with like glow effects and stuff, I can't do that on wood. So I'm just gonna keep it simple. It's just gonna be a simple little thing here. And we'll pick that color back. I think we need to make it lighter, bro. That's too light. That's too light. Yeah, way too light. Okay. We can maybe use the blender a small amount, like to blend these hard edges here. See, I'm bad at colors too. Coloring is by far my weakest area. I'm probably doing this like people who are good at Clip Studio or digital painting or painting at all are probably like screaming at me right now like, what are you doing? You're screwing it up. You're gonna give me an aneurysm. Please tell me how to do it. I suck so much at this. Like, I definitely am going to be watching some tutorials soon for digital painting. That's how poor confidence I have in my coloring, but we'll get through it. It's okay. It is okay to learn new things. Always okay. It is always okay. What happened to that? Oh my gosh, we're on the ink layer again. See, I do this all the time. All the time. Undo it all. All of it. No, it's gonna mess that up too. Why? Well, it is what it is. Okay, we'll sketch back out. Oh my gosh, I even just got done telling you. That is my biggest problem with layers, is I always screw it up. Here we are. Here we are. Screwing up layers right after I got done saying I'm going to try not to screw up the layers. And right after I screwed up the layers right before this. Oh, Lord. Okay. Nope, that's off center. Oh my gosh. And the whole reason that we got on the wrong layer and forgot to switch back was because of this friggin' window. Dang it. There, stay there. Go back to the correct layer. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for that. Alright, let's go to orange. And then let's do this. No, that's fine. Let's do this here. So once again, I don't want to get too crazy with glow effects. Like, I could make this a better fire. I can't paint it like that on like a real board if I make it look like a real fire with glow effects and stuff on this. So I'm just not going to bother. What we're going to do instead is just paint it super simple, because that's all you really need for something like this. You want it to be super simple so that the kids see it, they're interested in it, maybe they come over and they take a peek inside and they're like, hey, this looks like a book I'd like to read. Change a life, you know? Get one kid interested in reading and away from social media. And that's a win in my book, man. Get a kid off of TikTok and into a book. Victory. You know, even if it's just one kid. If this portrait draws, or whatever that you call this, this shamble here, as long as it gets one kid to be like, yo, I'm going to read this book, then I have done my job. I'm going to blend these together here. You can do this with paint. You know, like smear them a little bit. No big deal. Bring some of that orange back out. There we go. Cool. There we go. Alright. Stars are blue, maybe? We don't have much blue stuff going on. So we'll make the stars blue. Let's turn that off. Alright. Now, blue. Like an icy blue? No. Maybe like that? See if we can do this here. Whoops. And then we'll just fill it in. Cool. What we can do is here. We'll just pick all of these little guys. Here. Nope, not that. There. This one and this one. It looks like all of them. Straighten the picture out a little bit here. Okay, go back to this. Turn this up. Okay, it's super easy. Okay, there. There we go. Alright. That's okay, I think. They don't have to be yellow, right? Yeah. Alright. Our dragon's going to be green. Our butterfly's going to be orange. The birds are going to be white. The rocket's going to be red with the tips. Maybe a blue window or a little cockpit here. And then the pages are going to be a little yellowed white. I think that covers a lot of the colored wheel here. So where do we start? We start with the rocket? Why not? Start with the rocket. I guess we can make it white, slightly off white. Okay. This is going to be like a gray. Here, let me make it. Yeah, whatever. We can select that one. And then these little wings and the tip are going to be red. I think that's how all of my... I'm trying to remember all of my kids' books when I was younger. That's how they painted all of their spaceships or rocket ships and stuff. So we don't want to make anything super saturated. And I also don't want to shade anything like crazy. Like maybe we can give it a little bit, but that's not like that's a pain in the butt to do in real life too. Like as a painting, I don't know. I don't even know if they're gonna let me paint it or if they're gonna like screen print it or something. If they're gonna screen print it, I can definitely throw some shades on here, and we'll do a little bit maybe, but you know, I don't know what they're gonna ask me to do or let me do, or if they're gonna have paint or if I'm gonna need to bring my own paint, or I don't know. Maybe they don't even vote for it. Maybe I get voted off the island and you know, here we are again doing something else in the meantime. Alright, this is gonna be tricky here. Let's see, we want to make a reflection. That's the idea here. So we go with a 20. Too big? Maybe 10? No, 15. Let's try 15. Let's do this. 15 and 8. I'm gonna make 2. Whoops. 2 reflection lines. Think about that. It's bothering me. That little thing was bothering me. It's probably still gonna bother me. There we go. Whatever. Just be content with it eventually. Okay, dragon. Back down here. Should probably clearly identify what this layer is supposed to be. Really, it's just flats, but whatever. Color. It's a children's mural design. It's not really meant for flats and shadows and highlights and whatever. Alright, what kind of green do we want this guy to be? Maybe like a darker green, right? Here. Oop. Missed a spot. The horns are going to be a different color, right? Maybe, I don't know. Think about it. Think about what makes a good horn color. Okay. So we got our green little dragon guy. Here we're missing some. This is a problem with the magic wand tool. It's also the problem with the paint bucket tool. It's going to miss these little corners here. I don't have a good answer for that. Like I said, coloring is not something I've ever really done. All of my art growing up has just been pencils in notebooks. And so it ended up just being like shading with a pencil. So I do a mean pencil sketch, but when it comes to colors, man, I never really had crayons or markers or anything like that growing up. It was always just pencils. And it wasn't colored pencils, just, the 2B pencils, and that's it. Or whatever it was that we used in school. I forget what those are called. Number 2 pencils. Whoa. Inside the lines, brother. Inside the lines. Okay. Here's the tricky part. What are we going to do here? Do we just, like, phase the colors out? Do we use a... That's not going to work. You just spread the green? Yeah, looks like it works. So what we'll do is we'll glob the paint, like, right here. And then we'll just pull it down with like a Bob Ross palette knife or something, and just like scrape it down into the book here. There we go. Sure, that was all right. All right, now what color are the horns? Like gray? I want to say maybe. I want to say black, but like maybe like a off black. I just have a feeling if I do the magic wand tool to select all of these, it's just gonna, we're gonna have, see, like right there it would have probably selected the whole dragon, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna have little pixels, we're gonna have to come back after them anyways, might as well just fill them in like this. Yeah, it looks like a frog. Well, that's okay. Do we make like this area like a little bit, like this one right here, say like a darker green? See, like that? That'd be cool. It's like a cool effect, I think. Leave it. Let's leave it. We'll see how it goes. There's no guarantee that this is going to be voted onto the box. Anyway, all right. I don't know what a monarch butterfly. I know it's orange and black. I just don't know, like, which, like, is this just all, like, a uniform orange except for the black? Maybe that's not even a monarch butterfly. It was just my mind doing weird stuff. You know, let's see. Doves aren't like pure white, right? They're like off-white, so maybe like, I kind of like the one before, like that, maybe, sure, why not, whatever. And the pages are like off-white yellow. Let's see. This is gonna be tricky. Yeah, we got these freaking IRS doing their lame AI generated commercials. Let's try not yellow, but off-white yellow. Like, eh? Is that legit? Is that? Looks legit. Looks like the yellow pages, but why not? You know what I mean? Sure, we'll go with that. All right. Down here we're gonna, I think, maybe make it like a. This is like the actual cover of the book. We want it to be a different color. Hold on. Here. Let's figure out what the cover is gonna be. Maybe, whoa. Sorry, fat fingered that one. Alright, let's think. What color do we need? Purple? Yeah, we need a purple. Alright, and then this is just gonna be a darker purple. Yeah, like I said, normally I would do like a multiply layer or something, but I don't know. I should. Oh well. There's no multiply layers on real wood, so we just gotta figure this all out on one layer, and hopefully it'll work itself out. Whoa, what is going on with this guy? Holy smokes. Inking gone wrong. Jeez Louise. Alright, is there anything else? Alright, okay. Now, let's figure out what a monarch butterfly looks like real quick here. Hold on, I gotta Google it on a different screen. Monarch butterfly. It's an insect, in case you were wondering. Oh, it's got white spots around the outside. But it is mostly orange. And pretty much all of the filled in spaces are orange. So we're gonna have to, like, let's fill these first, and then we'll make our white spots. Go here. You get the idea. Orange, okay. It is almost a vibrant orange, but it is, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it. Does it look too much like a basketball? I think that's okay. I think that's an okay orange. Let's fix the magic wand tools blunders here. Yeah, I think that's alright. I think it's okay. Maybe we can spread some love around on a multiply layer or something with a little bit of shadows or something. But let's make spots white. They're pretty white too. They're really along. Like, all of this layer out here is supposed to be black. So let's do that. We'll go here. Yeah, like, see, it's got, like, at least the picture I'm looking at here, it's got really thick black outline around the wingtips and the edges. Even into, like, some of these little crevices here, like these, I don't know what you call these. I don't know. I'm not an entomologist, man. My undergrad is biology, but bugs, they escape me. I was more of a, how would you say it? Like a mammologist, I guess. Yeah, figure out insects for the life of me. Okay. We're just playing random stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background. I might put some music over. You can't really hear it anyway. It's just like playing random stuff that it thinks I like, because YouTube algorithms, whatever. It keeps just playing like the same 3 songs over and over. Alright. I guess that's okay. I don't know, look and see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably, like, it's really a lot more black here. It almost looks like it's just kind of phased through. There. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Alright. No. Like this, maybe. Sure. Why not? I think it looks better. I don't know. Some of you, like, huge butterfly fanatics out there are going to be mad at me for messing this up. My daughter's a huge butterfly fanatic, so I'm probably going to hear it from her. What have you done to this butterfly, Dad? It's okay. We're just going to give it some spots here. It's like randomize the sizes, like, I don't know. And they're all over, like, the sides, so we just, like... Nope, that's on an ink layer. That's why we're not getting anything. Ink layer. Another ink layer. Bunch of ink layer stuff. More ink layers. We have to put some on the ink layer, actually. That'd be interesting. Alright. Yeah, okay, it's starting to look like a monarch butterfly now. I get it. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, man. I don't know. Trying to randomize these, but it's messing it up. We're almost there. Almost done with butterfly. Butterfly Sam. Butterfly Bill. I like Butterfly Bill better than Sam. Okay. Let's zoom out. Alright, that looks pretty neat, I think, for, kids thing. So what I was thinking about doing for the background is we're going to have to come down here and do this on a separate layer. There we go. This is going to be tricky because I don't know how I'm going to make this work in real life, but figure it out. Big enough? Let's try it. Nope, that's too big. So what I wanted was a rainbow to come out from here. Maybe we put it on a spray paint layer instead. Red. Okay, and then we go orange. Yellow. Green. Blue. And violet. Or purple. If you're a pea brain like me, it's purple. Alright. There you go. Yeah, what do you think? Whoa. I'm loading. Alright. Purple. And then we go red. Good. We're kind of muddied our orange and yellow in there. Let's make it brighter. A little bit of yellow. Oop, that's not going to work. Maybe make a new layer for the yellow. There we go. And that way we can layer our orange underneath. Nope, that didn't work either. Need a new layer for the orange. Oh boy, I don't know how that's gonna work in real life. But this is the reading rainbow part, inspired part for me. And we're gonna have to, we're losing the yellow here. It's getting all muddied out. So like I said, I grew up with Reading Rainbow when I was a kid. The shows were all reruns. I guess not all of them, because there was new episodes. Because LeVar Burton was from the 90s. It's not like he was, some 70s actor or something. The 70s were way before my time, anyway. All right, let's go black. And go back to the ink layer, so we're kind of losing the fire here. I thought we could maybe do it on its own layer, but with the background the way that it is, I wonder if instead, let's try this. Zoom out here. Big picture part. Let's see if we can put these on like a, put them on a transparency like this. That's kind of what I was thinking. Make them transparent a little bit. You can't really do that in real life with paint, though. Like, I can't just slide the transparency slider around. I don't know how I would do that in real life, to be honest with you. Forget it. Put it all. We'll max out that opacity. If this were an illustration, we'd obviously spend a little bit more time on it, but for what it is, for what we're doing, I think it's fine. It's not meant to be perfect. As long as it gets a kid interested in reading the book, that's all I care about. Whoa. Okay, hold on. It's here. Just trying to make sure we get the flame all captured here. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. Better. Okay. Alright, let's add one multiply layer here. Maybe an overlay layer. How much time do we have? I don't know how long we've been recording for. 58 minutes. Oh boy. Alright, let's try to finish this up here. You guys don't have all day, right? And I know I need to get this done because it is almost 11 o'clock here. I need to get to bed. Or multiply. White, but let's go. Ugh. This is hard to say because, like, the rainbow behind, it's hard to figure out what. Oh, that's way too big. What light we're supposed to be reflecting. I just want to make it look three-dimensional. It's still too big, I think. I guess we'd be reflecting this, right? Hold on. Technically. Reflecting the fire. Maybe orange. But that would be the highlight layer, not the shadow layer. This is what I mean. Oh man, I suck with colors. Let's just go back over here. We'll just give it a little, just to give it some dimension. A little bit of dimension. No. That's gonna be a highlighted area. Because the fire is like right there. So we'll put the overlay layer like right there. Okay. I promise I'll figure out colors. If you want to be a good comic artist, I think you gotta figure out colors. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Figure out these colors one way or another. Even if I have to buy one of those little Proco things. The little, I'm sure they're really good. All the little Proco tutorials and stuff. They're really good. Maybe I'll buy the coloring one. I don't know. Alright, dragon guy. 20? We just want to give it volume. It'll be tricky to do in real life, but maybe we can make it work by just getting like a slightly darker green. Or mixing green with the smallest amount of black. One thing that physical media will teach you, like in a freaking hurry, is how black muddies everything. Like the color, if you use the black pigment mixing any other color, is just gonna make it like basically black. It is just gonna take that color and turn it dark. I should probably be using the magic wand tool here, whatever. At least that's my experience with it anyway. I don't have good luck mixing colors, but like I said, I kind of suck at colors, so. Go here, because we want to just give this guy some volume. Make him look like he is not just a page, but he's come out of the page. I don't know if I'm succeeding. I feel like I am, but don't know. All right. Bottom one here. Top again. Okay. Let's try to get some of the business on the outside here that we overdid. Ooh. Erased. Okay. Alright, so we're almost there. Oh, we forgot the spine. Might be. I think we gotta make it dark, right? Woo! Oh, we picked the wrong color. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's see. We're going to multiply. We want to lighten it a little bit. Nope, messed that up there. Go down here. So let's see if we can do this. It looks like it's selecting enough of the black line, the ink layer, where it's not going to give us those little pixels that we have to fill in later. Okay. Did right there. All right. Okay. All right. Pages look pretty good. Oh, what happened here? We missed this spot. Back to color. I'm gonna get rid of that green. There we go. Okay, multiply. I'm gonna turn this. Ooh, oof, oof, oof. Hold on. There we go. We should have waited to fill that in. That's okay. We just want to give this a little bit of depth. around the spine and stuff. Like right where it meets all down in the little bottom of the book there. Okay, then we're going to give a quick highlight. I don't want to take all day. This is already probably quite a lot longer than it needs to be. This video, that is. There we go. Alright, sure. Looks good. Alright. Birds. Little birds. Alright, let's go. We're going to make it just so ever so slightly darker to give it just a little bit of volume here. And we're going to just... Whoop, too big. Too big. 20. We just want to blend the hard edges away. There we go. Good enough. I really don't need to do that anyway. Let's do a better job of finding the shadows, like right here. Yeah, 15. Here, we just want the edge. Just the edge. Okay. Mr. Butterfly needs a little bit of depth too. Lighten that up a tiny bit. I'm going to make that a little smaller. A little bit of the depth in here. I don't know how to shade a butterfly. We'll just figure it out. Yeah, just throw some shades in here, whatever. Here's. Come by and just blend out the hard edges and be done with it. Throw some highlights on these little guys here and call it a day. Submit this in the morning, because nobody likes to get an email in the middle of 11 o'clock at night. It'd be the ultimate troll, though. Probably definitely wouldn't get voted in that way. Alright, let's see. I think we're good. Add this really quick overlay layer. Give it a little orange light. That'll work? Oh, we're on blend. Okay, there we go. It's not gonna work there. Just kind of try to blend that up a little bit. And what we can do in real life paint is just take like once it's dry, we can get like add white to this orange color, and then just take the paint knife, like a Bob Ross paint knife or whatever, and just like scrape on that like orange color right here, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, I'm blind again. I'm like, man, I picked the wrong color. Go here. Yeah, real quick, just blend it up. Because we don't want it to be that crazy bright. We can definitely layer the paint too to get that effect. Just make it a bright, like the bright green, and we can darken it if we have to get the gradient to the darker green where the shade is here in real life. Like none of this really matters digitally. What it's gonna be a pain in the butt to do it in real paint. Kind of my big frustration with trying to figure out how to do this in a way that's not making it like impossible for me to do in real life. You know? And I've said that 1,000 times at this point, but you get it. We're almost done. Oop. A little bit there. So maybe add the highlights. I don't know how we're going to highlight a bird that's white. Just forget it. Try to highlight this guy. These little pages now. Make it quick. Could probably actually do it in that orange. Since these ones are close enough to the fire that it would work. It's somewhat believable. I mean, not terribly believable, but whatever. Believable enough, I suppose. It's not even facing it. It'd be like there. And then it's kind of getting far away now, so go back to just this color. We could reflect the rainbow. I just don't know how to do that. That's well beyond my mastery level for highlights. You just make a little corner of the page white here. And we're going to blend that all out, so whatever, it's going to be fine. Try not to forget all of these areas that we just did. There we go. Okay, so that's the final design, I suppose. I'll submit that in the morning. Ooh, not quite. Just kidding. Hang in there. Okay, now it's the final design. Alright, final design. Here it is. This is what I'm going to send over for them to rate and review and vote on for tomorrow. Hopefully that is sufficient. Hopefully they vote on it. If they don't, it is what it is. I put a lot of thought into this, and I really tried hard. So, if nothing else, it'll make a interesting picture, because my kids had a lot of input on this too. My son likes dragons. My daughter likes butterflies. My other son likes rocket ships, and they love the colors that are on here. They like the rainbow. They like the books, the idea, pretty much all this stuff. So, at the very least, it's a good picture for them. I could just be like, hey, I made this for you guys. It didn't make the cut for the box, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Life goes on either way. This is just kind of an experiment video. I'm trying to see if I can even find a way to talk for, at this point, an hour and 13 minutes. And still make it somewhat interesting. Hopefully it was. If it was, let me know. Otherwise, stick around, come back, whatever. My goal is to one day be a comic book artist and mangaka. And yes, I said and, because I would like to do both. I would very much like to be part of the Western comic book creators club, I guess we call it that. Just a Western comic book creator, making my own stories that people enjoy. And in addition, I like manga too, so I'd like to make manga stories that people can enjoy as well. I have a lot of stories. Hopefully we can get to those. At any rate, see you guys around. See you next time. Later.